So welcome everybody to the 5G Go Zone, where we are always very grateful for every day that we are alive and doing well. And we're going to talk all about mobile apps and how to market that going through. As we've talked before, the 5Gs are gratitude. What have you got to give? What are you wanting to get? What is your growth? And I know I am
the God is it's God give and get. God give and get.
God give and get.
Yeah. What do you got?
Gratitude, got, give, get, and growth.
Yep.
So with that today, we are going to actually help Tammy brainstorm with their app, which is an accounting app for Gordon J. Meyer, and how to start to get more downloads, especially right now in the off season. But I do believe if you ask any accountant, there's never really an off season. It's one thing or another. So, Lorenzo, what would you like to toss in there today, right now?
Well, I love the idea, and because I am very engaged right now in building out quizzes for many of our clients and ourselves included. In fact, one of the companies I'm involved in we're building a picture-based quiz. For personality growth, so personality activity. So the fact of the matter is quiz can do a lot of things, but what's probably important is just understanding the idea of a quiz. But let's go ahead and do our normal, which is what I'm grateful for. So I've got some really cool things. So what I'm super grateful about right now is I've officially got notified that my oldest daughter, who's been fostering 2 children, will be officially adopting them in August of this year. So there's a court date and a time and all the hard work of going through the fostering process. I'm super grateful for that. My 2-month-old at the time, now 6-month-old, 4th grandson is doing really well from his heart surgery. So I'm just grateful for all of that. And I'm grateful to be part of this community because I've been thinking about, Nancy doesn't even know this yet, I've been thinking about a lot more ways for us to grow our business. And one of them is to increase the quiz and increase the ways that we're going to do some more of our 5G Go Zone. So lots of really great things happening for me. And as always, what I've got is years of wisdom and experience in clients where we know what's working, what's not working. So my God is I want to sort of share that information. And what I want to give is the time, my time and energy. And then what I want to get is opportunities to serve and to help others and create relationships, create partnerships, create opportunities that way. So that's really what I want to do. And how I want to grow is we really want to grow this business, and we really want to grow this. And so the last sort of thing that's evolved for me is the mobile app business that I'm in is really getting better and more solid, and new features and new releases. So all of that's been done over the last few months. So now I've got lots of tools and techniques and strategies. So just super happy about all those things. So those are my 5Gs. And then let's go into quizzes in a minute. Nancy, do you want to share your thoughts and ideas as well?
Yep, I would like to share my 5Gs. And Lorenzo, that is fantastic. All those gratitude and the things that are happening. And you reminded me that I am grateful that our 6th grandchild came to us on May the 4th. So, of course, we have our little Star Wars baby. May the 4th be with you. And so that was fantastic. I am very excited and grateful for some of the new relationships and some of the new features and things that are coming our way in the business, and some connections that we're making. We have just recently launched an app for real estate agents to help them grow their business. And with the way that, the economy is always shifting, and we know it's shifting right now, that it's nice to have this tool for the real estate agents to be able to really leverage their marketing dollars and to be that resource for people and come from an attitude of gratitude. So that's what I'm giving right now, is to help people understand that the apps are from an attitude of gratitude, and that it's about giving. And through that, you're going to grow your business. And let's see here. So that's my give, and is of my time. My get is to always get the positive energy that comes through meeting. And my own personal gain is to be able to feed off of that and to get that and to take my business to the next level. And then for Lorenzo and I to build this community and for us to take this to the next level. So let's see here. I don't have them in front of me today. It's gratitude, give, get, got, and I have a wealth of knowledge that I love this collaborative because it helps bring out my knowledge and to help build on that. And as far as growth, yes, my focus is to grow this community. People are welcome in this community, whether they have an app, they're thinking about an app, or if they're even leveraging third-party apps to grow their business. So if you know of anybody, invite them in. This is an open forum, and we are welcoming every and anybody. So with that, Tammy, I'm going to hit you up real quick for your quick 5 Gs, which is what is your gratitude?
Oh, my gratitude is that I have the ability to work with people that trust me to bring in the clients that are needed for the company and kind of make it my own thing and just run with it and create the position.
Excellent, excellent. And then what have you got?
I have got a team of experts who have succeeded in the areas that I need to grow in, training me and coaching me.
Excellent, excellent. Yep. And what have you got to give today?
I'm going to give 100% of what what I've learned and put it to use and do the best I can with what I've learned.
Excellent, excellent. And what do you want to give today?
Ideas that I haven't come up with yet, and just the support that I need to help grow my position.
Perfect. And your growth?
I'd like to grow our client base, or actually not necessarily clients, but at least just leads, and get more people on our lead list so that we have people to follow up with and hopefully win over as clients.
Perfect, perfect. So we're going to kind of do some brainstorming here, and I want our focus today to be about how the app can help draw in and how you can draw people to the app. Now, we already know about push notices. We've talked about that. I've noticed that the Brookfield Chamber, the More For You app, is definitely leveraging push notices a lot, and that has helped people share that app because of, you know, the way that they're positioning it. So that's just one example of where push notices are really starting to come about. And I think for your app, especially the push notices around when things are due is really a great way to be able to keep your people engaged. But more so, we want to start driving people to download your app, and ultimately the app is about doing business with you. And there's a technique, it's been around for a little while, but it's really starting to get leveraged in a business, and that's about quizzes. So Lorenzo, you want to give a little background about the power of the quiz and what it can bring?
Yeah, sure. I think as we kind of frame this, think of the quiz as being an initial opportunity to create interest, to provide information as a part of this journey, and then ultimately as a lead capture or lead origination system. So quizzes today have a lot of functionality, kind of like a mini funnel. And what I really like about a quiz is it can be simple and quick and effective, but then leads to capturing a name and an email, for example. And so one of the things that I would ask Tammy, I'd like to talk about further, is 2 aspects of building out some reason for somebody to take a quiz. And the first aspect is creating value. And in today's market, the new way of thinking has to be, it's not sort of, it's a question, it has to be, how much value can I give away quickly and effectively in my business? So when, in case of accounting and accounting firms, the thing that I know to be true is while there's a tax season and there's taxable activities and reporting to do, then the off season, or the other part of the season, is, are you managing your assets? Are you really building your business? Are you protecting your business? Are you properly incorporated? There's all kinds of things that you can be talking about in quizzes. So one of the things I'm just seeding here is, what would we offer in a quiz, or what would we start driving to that creates value to give something back? So the idea is that, think of your your accounting business as seasonal, which it is, and then what can you do in the off season to drive people to your app and drive people through a quiz? So a quiz could be seasonal, is my point, right? So one of the ways of looking at it is, hey, we do certain things, like, are you prepared? Is preparedness checklist for the tax season. That would be done something, let's say late fall. And then in the tax season is, did you know kind of facts, like, hey, did you know you got this, these are things happening, this is the latest and greatest tax laws, are you aware of that? That can be, a did you know kind of quiz in the middle of the tax season, and have you prepared all your information. And then, later in the spring and summer, it's more about business preparation, asset management, those kinds of things. So really all I'm trying to say is, let's look at your business at a minimum of 2 different types of quizzes, as opportunities to drive traffic, and we'll come back to what they look like and how they get created. So that's sort of step number 1, is what you do, what's the frequency, how do you keep it simple, and then you're doing, quiz becomes a lead magnet. The other thing I want us to talk through is, in driving people to your app, you have different channels or different ways to get people connected to you. So you have a customer base. So that's one way to embrace and enhance and stay connected to your customers. The sort of a little editorial comment here, the number one sort of cost in business is acquiring customers and or employees. So the cost to do that. So the emphasis has to be now on customer retention and customer engagement. So one of the things that I would encourage us to think about from a quiz perspective is, you might even say, I have a quiz for my customers to check in and how did we do, what kind of engagement. So it's a little bit of a feedback quiz, but also a kind of a survey. So literally all of this information and all these links and all this quiz concepts can all be handled inside of your app. And inside of landing pages on a website. So now we have to sort of tactically sort of work through this sort of pieces by piece. But I've basically outlined all the high level possibilities. Now let's pick a lane or an idea, and then let's flush it out so that you actually have results from today's call. Nancy, you want to respond to that?
Yeah, I like every direction that you went there. What I would like is for Tammy to take just a quick minute and talk about the varying services that they have, so we can pick one of those lanes, because their firm is a full service accounting, not just a tax firm, which is a little different. Well, not different for accounting services, but there's definitely lanes within the accounting industry of what they specialize in. So Tammy, why don't you go through real quick what your top 5 main services are?
Yeah, outside of tax season, big ones for us are payroll. We do payroll for a lot of the smaller companies around the area, and then auditing. And like right now, auditing is like on fire. So those are the 2 biggest ones. But another one that's also starting to take off is business valuations. We have one of our partners who's very good with that and has a lot of background with it. So business valuations is a good one. What else do we do? We do bookkeeping is another big one, and employee benefit plans. So those are the major ones right now.
Yeah. So if you wanted to pick one to grow,
probably payroll is going to be the next one. Yep, we just installed a newer system that's similar to ADP, and it has a lot of options, not only for us when we do the client's payroll, but they have access to a lot of information.
Awesome. Yeah, that's great. And so first of all, thanks for that share. And I think I have a couple possibilities, things for us to talk about offline, valuation in particular. So then the idea is, if payroll is your sort of our go-to, Talk to us about, just briefly, about the value proposition of payroll as you see it, right? So at the end of the day, it's not whether what you do as a service is valuable, but rather how your business would speak to it, market to it. And those are the things that we would start with. And then let's craft a little solution for you.
Okay. So the major highlights with the payroll system that we use is that everything is electronic, and like the companies can do their onboarding right in their payroll package. They can set up new employees themselves, or if they want to hire us to do it, we can do that. They can put in wage changes. They can run reports. What else do they have? Benefits enrollment. They can offer workman's comp, healthcare plans, and a lot of it, like, they have the access to do it themselves, or we can do that for them.
Okay. So if I'm hearing you correctly, it's a full service employee onboarding solution with benefits, attributes, and basically self-maintenance, or a maintenance kind of process. So it's going to be done for you or done with you kind of model.
Right.
So
Yep.
you're serving them both ways. Okay. Super cool. How are you pricing this from a delivery standpoint? Is it one price fits all? Is it something where you are willing to help defer or set up fees, or what? Kind of walk us through what that onboarding client, a new client, looks like. Say of a 10 person company, let's use this as an example. A 10-person company, I've got to come on board. What they don't have to give me detailed costs, but like what's the structure, right? So you have a cost for the service, cost for your service. What does that look like?
Yeah, and it is tailored to the client, and I believe it's based on the size. But there is like a startup fee, and then each month, if we're maintaining the payroll, then there's a charge per employee. And then if they want us to run the reports, then that's another fee. And I don't think there hasn't ever been anything that's published what the starting point is. It's basically the amount of employees, what is the detail behiund it and all that. So, but
yeah, effectively a formula. I've run payroll before too, and companies,
yeah.
So I know kind of the general rule of thumb. So let me just suggest this. If you're looking at marketing dollars and you're going to say, hey, I'm going to go out and try to acquire clients or customers through marketing, what is it possible that you could apply sort of the marketing budget and use that as a way to incentivize either existing customers and or new customers to come in and take advantage of your service for a period of time? So for example, through the balance of the year, right? Because payroll is pretty much year to year annualized kind of activity. So bringing somebody in, onboarding them, and giving them a chance to use your service and understand your business. The assumption here, of course, is your great value, right? You provide good business. You're good at what you do. Clients are happy. So that's an assumption, and it should be. And don't be disrespectful. I just don't know your business, but assume that's there, which is why you're working with Nancy, because Nancy's only works with quality people. That being there, then what can you do to bring people in between now and the end of the year, get them into your system, get them to know, like, and trust your business and your services. And so instead of spending marketing dollars on that, you could spend marketing dollars on incentivizing your customers, existing customers, and or new customers. So is that possible? Is really long-winded to ask.
I'm not sure. I'm not really sure how to answer that.
Yeah, so just put a placeholder in that, because one of the things that if we're driving traffic to your app and you're driving new leads, people still want to feel like they're getting value. They also kind of want a deal, right? And so in order to create an opportunity, so here's a couple examples. One is that you could give them, other than your setup fee, right, which is important. You can't give away time and money for free in the setup and the setting up the system, but you might be able to give the first 10 employees at a discounted rate. If they have or the first, month at a discounted rate, or the first couple of months, right? So what you're really trying to do is get people into your quiz and your funnel, but you're also trying to get them into your business. Because once a client becomes a client, a prospect becomes a client, then now it's based on how you are and how you show up. And again, high confidence level in that. So I'm saying, hey, let's spend some dollars and find some leads, get some referrals, even buy a list, right? So for example, I have clients, and I'm not trying to sell you anything, but I have clients that have lists of people in Arizona. Like, well, probably easiest to find is the local market first, right? Especially with the brick and mortar. So the idea is that you're finding a way to get your business model built, and then you maybe don't have to discount so much, but basically we're building a proof of concept, how to use a quiz, how to do marketing, how to create motivation and incentive, build the value, and now drive people to your app, drive people to a quiz, and now you're getting more clients in a lane, right? So just keeping very focused on all of this. Those are all things to me that would allow you to say, all right, we're going to try this, right? We're not going to lose our, sort of our lose money, but we're also willing to defer a little bit of revenue by creating a funnel, by creating a methodology, driving people to my app. And then when it's all said and done, the rest of the story is then you're starting to do push notifications to those people in your app. And now you're inviting them to quizzes, you're inviting them more to your other products and services. So really what you're building is your business on a specific entry point, right? So those are all things in marketing that are huge. And I'll give you one simple example, and I'll stop talking on this. When Amazon started out of the garage, right, they started by selling books, right? And that's all they did. And it was a lane. And once they got good at selling books, then they expanded, and then they, of course, moved to other operations. Now it's one of the largest businesses in the world, and certainly from a growth perspective. So that's really what we're suggesting to you too. It's like, how do we create something that gets a lane, gets us started? So all of those are things that for those listening and paying attention, realize that that's a whole way of building a business with a very targeted strategy, and adding value, but also creating a little bit of incentive. So thoughts from either of you ladies?
Well, I think that this is actually a wonderful perspective. I believe that they have already built their business on taxes. And so now it's a matter of going to that second lane or adding that second product, even though you've got all these others. And one area that I would seriously look at is what I call your low-hanging fruit, which are your existing business customers. And I think a lot of smaller companies don't realize the value of a payroll system and how they can leverage it. Most think, oh, I only have 2 employees, so what do I need that for? I'll do it myself. Well, how many errors are done with the do-it-yourself model? And if I understand your business correctly, if it's a lot like ADP, you will collect the tax money right along, and every quarter or however frequent that business needs to file those taxes, you will just take care of it. And so they don't have to worry about setting the money aside, getting it in timely, having the forms filled out correctly. Am I right on that part?
That is correct. Yes.
Okay. So I think your long goal here and your long term is going to be, or your low hanging fruit, I should say, is going to be your existing client base. And that's where we should potentially start the quiz, because I bet a lot of those people don't even know you offer this service. And that's, you're one of the best kept secrets because of it. Yeah. So if you were to reach out to your customers via quiz, what would be one of the first questions you might want to ask in this quiz?
Did you know that we offer a full service payroll program, or not? It's not a program.
Service. It's a service.
It's a service. I didn't want to say service.
Processing. Payroll processing.
Payroll. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, so one of the things, so to me, one thing that I didn't say, but in quizzing and quiz modeling, we have the ability to score and kind of do some point system, some other things. So one of the things that I would encourage us to talk about here, Nancy. So what you're asking, Nancy, is what's the value proposition? The value proposition is leave behind, did you know that we do this service, right? Payroll processing. And what I would suggest, because I'm this kind of personality, is I'd say, let's do a factual quiz, like, if you get a 10 out of 10 on did you know questions. So basically, maybe it's 3 questions or whatever, but did you know that, the cost of payroll? Did you know, and basically take the fun facts about your payroll, which is really the benefits of the payroll system, and do a little quiz on, guess multiple choice answer, right? The reason I would do that is then when at the very end, you can send them to a landing page, or send them an email based on receiving that saying, thanks for taking the quiz. Here's your score. And oh, by the way, here's your reward, or here's an offer. And the offer can be value based and not even really like you have to get something, because what you're trying to do with the quiz is two things, as we just discussed, or revisit them. One is create nurturing and longer term relationships, and people continue to know, like, and trust you. So you're building your customer base up. And two is you're just creating awareness around a product or service that you offer. And because they're already in your marketing list, you're also, in today's world, reinvigorating your list and creating your active list, because what's happening in the marketing world based on GDPR compliance is you got to make sure your list is up to date and people are still opting in, because that keeps you out of sort of email jail sort of thing. So all of that said, that's where I would take this thing, Tammy.
Okay.
And because you have the facts, you can make up the questions pretty easily.
Yeah, I like that idea of having the question, but also have the multiple choice, and yeah,
Right.
I like that.
Right. And a theme could also be, do you need a payroll service? Does your business need a payroll service? Which would get people, like, I'm thinking that if we're posting this quiz on social media, what's going to get people to click on it? Ever wonder if you needed a payroll service? Find out if you need a payroll service. I wonder. I just had a client that has decided to add on some seasonal people, and she wasn't sure how she was going to do that. Is she needing a service? She's never had employees before. Should she hire a payroll? Should she do it herself? Should she, get the updated tables from QuickBooks? And that's the thing. People think they have the QuickBooks payroll, but they don't realize that every single year they have to pay for new tables and hope that throughout the year those tables have been fully updated. So, the do-it-yourself model isn't always the most effective or efficient.
Right.
So that might be one twist. Or another twist is your payroll service costing you money? Or is your payroll service, not having a payroll service, is it costing you money? Because that's the other thing. People think about that and they go, well, why should I pay for a payroll service? I can just do this myself. So you're looking at two views here. One is to take the people who already have a service and transfer them over to you because they already understand that a service is necessary. And then the other is for people who don't have a service to get them to come over to you.
Okay.
So it's almost two separate quizzes.
Mm.
And it's okay to do more than one quiz. So just to kind of frame that a little bit.
Well, I'll give you another feature.
Yeah.
A quiz can branch. So you can have basically a couple initial questions that say, help us categorize kind of what your needs are. And based on that, take them down, a more robust questionnaire or, factual kind of quiz. So you can be one-stop shopping, but you can organize it so both clients. And that was a great point, Nancy. You've got excellent opportunities with existing clients that don't have a service, with people that have a service that want to transfer into a more full service organization. So you have lots of ways to market and payroll. In
fact, another topic could be, is your payroll service fully serving you? Because you named some things that other payroll services may not have. Because I know that there's the banks, for example, they do payroll processing, but you named the benefits package, the being able to monitor the clients, to be able to make this a full service. It almost sounded like, to me, the whole full service HR benefits package, payroll package, not to say it's a full HR department. But another thing that a quiz can potentially do is that it will flag the answers. And some quizzes have the capability of popping up an article or a video real quick and saying, oh, to answer your question, this is, see this article or whatever before they move forward. so they can be informative. It also can flag you for which email series to send people to nurture them. Recent statistics shows that when you're looking at, say, 100 people, 3 of them will be ready to do business with you right away or just about at any time. But the rest take about 90 days to really build that know, like, and trust. Even if they're an existing client of yours, you're now introducing a new service. And all of this is going to lead people to say, download our app. So it's not just, an app is a beautiful tool in marketing. The ultimate goal of a mobile app is to build your business. You know, let's not lose sight of that. It's not just about having an app to give people information. That's the gateway. But it's about building your business and building your know, like, and trust. So even that concept of, is your current payroll service serving you? Take this quiz to find out. And you'd be surprised how many people love quizzes these days. Oh my gosh. Everything. Yeah. It's the latest.
Well, yeah, and I definitely think if you go down the path of making it fun, engaging, and then creating some value on the back end. And just to be a play on words, it's because I can't help myself. But yeah, is your payroll service a service or a disservice? Right?
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, so because one of the things that people buy, first of all, Nancy, I want to make sure that when we talk about quizzes and talk about creating value, I want the value to be at the back end of the list, right? So you don't want people to, you want people to get really clear, keep it short and sweet, and then provide their information, and then you can give them a very robust set of value and opportunities. I also want it to be more about, especially with your existing customer base, about more of in gratitude, right? Hey, we're grateful that you're part of our client base. We want to kind of keep you up to date on what we're doing. We're a growing company. So it's really informational. I would argue it's a little bit of a newsletter for your existing customer base versus your new customer base. So again, there's just a lot of strategies that we've discussed here today. But I think as you go back and listen to this again, and then talk to your team and your leadership about what you might want to do, then we can revisit this as quickly as you want to on the next before the next call. I'm happy to make myself available, and those are the kinds of things that you just should be thinking about, right? So are you feeling complete, Tammy, or overloaded or overwhelmed, or what's your reaction to all this?
No, I am feeling complete. I got some good ideas here, and just that spark to get the thinking going, and yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, sure. And we are going to have to get together. It looks like it'll be sometime in July at the rate I'm going, because I just was telling Nancy I'm traveling for the next 3 or 4 weeks. But I'd love to catch up with you as well. And I know that you've got my email or contact information. So reach out to me and let me know how to get a hold of you as well. That'd be great.
Okay.
Awesome.
Excellent.
Nancy,
Excellent.
I think I'm feeling like we had a great style. I don't want to overload the listeners or overload anybody else at this point, because you should stay focused on what's next for Tammy.
Exactly. And I'm actually going to make this offer because I think this session was really good. And I think the whole idea of a quiz is very powerful for anybody's business. So for those people who are listening to the recording, if you want to brainstorm with us, shoot me an email, and we will find a time to kind of brainstorm a quiz for your specific topic and for your specific app, and we'll see how we can incorporate that. And that's my give, and between Lorenzo and I will have that quick little meeting and be able to develop one for you as well, or at least get you thinking and get you in those ideas. So that's for those people who are listening to the recording. No, today's session was fantastic. I see no reason to keep it going just for the sake of going. I know people like to listen to recordings when they're on task and on purpose. So, Tammy, do you have any last questions or words before we sign off?
Nope, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay. And Lorenzo, how about you?
No, I'm complete for today. I'm super excited. I would love to entertain, like you, Nancy, the opportunity to talk to more people. We're doing these quiz methodologies and funnels and other lead strategies that are much more robust than even what we talked about today. So just give us a holler and let us know how we can help.
Excellent. Excellent. All right. Well, everybody, thank you very much. Tammy, thank you for your time. Lorenzo, thank you for your wisdom. I feel that today was very powerful, and I'm so happy we were able to share this with you. And in the meantime, I want everybody to go off and have an absolutely fabulous day. Bye for now.